Hello everyone, the Vibe Kage here. And this is a special one-shot Naruto, I guess Naruto MHA, what if? So this one, the poll, and I'm gonna try, keyword is try, that like every Saturday, like I'll do a one-shot storyline, like quickly summarizing what would happen if Deku was trained by a certain group. The first group that won were the Hokages. So, this is where I'm gonna go because I don't have time to, squander. Deku will be trained by all the Hokages. The ship is Momo. And here's the key difference. Momo's family is not rich at the beginning. In fact, she goes to the same preschool as Izuku and Bakugo. They were a trio of friends. Bakugo, once he got his quirk, he became a dick. There was no ands, ifs, or buts about it, And, Momo with her quirk, which was the only other quirk that rivaled Bakugo's, so Bakugo would either pick on Momo or Izuku. Which, Izuku was fine every single time Bakugo would pick on him, but every time he tried to pick on Momo, Izuku would, take the beating. Legit, every single time. Don't get me wrong, he would fight back, and, Deku, yes, he is technically still quirkless right now, but he hasn't trained yet. Oh well. So now, Izuku, he's 4. They take him to the quirk doctor. Doctor says, not gonna happen, he's quirkless. He's got that extra pinky toe. So, yeah, I ain't gonna run no more tests. Deku heartbroken. Very next day in class, Momo the only fucking person to still talk to Deku like he's still a normal person. Because, why would she ignore Deku? Deku always sticking up for her. She'd do the same for Deku now. Which, yeah. And this also does change motivations of Momo because she's not going in through recommendation course. She'll actually go through the UA entrance exam, and yes. Now, I'm gonna get into how all this training with the Kages will go. Everything. Okay, so Deku cannot get the wood style from Harashima because no blood relation to the Senju. He could still teach him earth style and water style, which he will, but I'm just covering that right now. Deku can't learn wood style since he does not have the genes of the first Hokage. He'll have access to his chakra in a sense, but not in a way you guys might probably want him to have, because I bet a lot of people saw, have him trained by the Hokages. He's gonna use wood style. No wood style. Wood style is a genetic thing, and if you want Deku to have a wood style, pretty much reincarnation of Harashima, 9,000 subscribers for a special, the special ship of Deku, the Harashima reincarnation, and then Uraka, the Tsundere female Madara reincarnation. Which, yes, I will do that story if I get to 9,000 subscribers, because at first I said it as a joke, and then I'm like, that could be fucking funny, on some real shit, but that probably a good minute away, so, oh well. Now, to continue on, they're going on a field trip today. A special, shrine-esque, where people would, talk stories about, how there was this so-called rumored sage of 6 paths, and, there was these people called kages, throughout the land, And then, that's funny, before quirks. Yeah, right, And here's the thing. There's a special toad. The new, prophecy toad, if you will. Because the old one kind of was really old. So here's a new little youngin'. And, he's just watching the students. He pays close attention to each student. Seeing their futures and everything. And he sees Izuku. He sees Izuku, dying. And he's just like, ooh, poor kid. Like, so yeah. And when he gets to Momo, he sees her, like, also dying. And he's just like, ooh, not good. Not good at all. So yeah, no. And the Toad sees that, oh, that one has a power, that one don't. That one got bullied. That one, she kind of sticking up for him. And he's just like, oh, like a nice little couple. Good, good, good. And this is not a quirk marriage one. The quirk marriage Deku would still be under Melissa's shield, and that Deku will also have a quirk, which I'll record probably after this one, which that one's gonna have a fun twist for y'all, which I'll show you who Deku's parents are and what if Deku had a quirked marriage. These are their outlines, these are their sins, these are who Deku's parents are in the what if Deku had a quirked marriage, which will be uploaded today after I finish recording this one. And this one's a one-shot, which I'll cover like the whole arcs until like and end it too. So no, yeah. And you know how Bakugo is, he's a dick. I'm gonna say like right now they're about 6. So Deku, in the 2 years of like being friends with exclusively Momo, the two have developed feelings for one another. They just don't know because they fucking kids, my guy. They just kids. How are they gonna know? They're like, I like this person. No. Like them? What's like? Ah. Alright then. So no, Izuku, he doesn't know why, but like, always on anyone's like ass if they try and insult Momo. Which, yes. And he has, like, because he convinced his mom to, he has taken the beginning of, like, some self-defense classes. Just some light boxing, honestly. Just so he can run and at least know how to throw a punch and dodge a punch. That's pretty much where his human fighting style is going to be here right now. So, yes. The only reason why I say human fighting style is because the kages are god levels. So, yes. And now, see, the Toad is watching Izuku and Momo. Like, they're alone. I'll say they're like close to a rail, just talking, not really doing much. When you know fucking Bakugo, the biggest douchebag of the year, shows up, starts like fucking around with them. He throws a few explosions at Deku. Deku's dodging. He actually lands 2 punches on Bakugo. One on his chin, and then one on his nose. Which, Bakugo, after getting up, he tells his goons, alright, then get the damn nerd. Which, you know, they do. They squander. Bakugo's punching them. Momo tries to interfere, which Bakugo just smacks her in the face and throws an explosion at her gut. Which actually does send her, like, close to falling. Which Deku, like, he sees this. He bites on one of the goons' hands, just, like, giving them that Goku treatment. Just, like, can't breathe, must bite, instinct alone. So, like, he bites down, and he bites down hard. Like, Deku, like, he chomped on this man's arm. Like he ripped off a piece of flesh. Deku panicking about Momo right now. So, yes, he does that, headbutts the other one, rushes towards Momo. Right as he's about to get there, Bakugo throws an explosion that causes Momo to lose her grip. She falls into, like, she's about to fall in, like, a few feet. Like, I want to say it's a 23-foot drop into a bed of rushing water, like a river. Which, you know, Bakugo not thinking clearly, he's just like, ha, take that! Deku just instantly just jumps off the railing. And, you know, this was different than what the Toad saw. What the Toad saw was Deku being, like, the one thrown off, not Momo. Which he's just like, that boy changed the future. Interesting. I will see this. So as Deku, you know, he falls, grabs Momo, like tucks her head into his body and then kind of like says, "Fuck it, I will be the pincushion. As long as Momo lives, I'm fine dying." Which they fall in, like, Bakugo and his goons don't see them. And Momo, like, she terrified, so she kind of faints. Deku's just expecting the splash, the splash, the splash. It never happens. Instead, a really, really long, slimy tongue wraps around both of them and then kind of saves them. Deku, of course, being surprised that he was saved. He's looking for a hero, and all he sees is the frog. The frog goes croak and tells him, "Yo, you did something that only a few people I personally know of should be able to do that. And I see that you were having trouble with them up there. You know, I think I can help you out." Which Deku's just like, "A talking frog?" He's just like thinking, even frogs have a quirk when I don't. Like, he starts getting all depressed. And the frog tells him, "Oh, no, I'm older than quirks, dude. Like, I'm a few, like, 400 years old, maybe? Like, nah, no, not 400. I'm gonna say he's a solid 1,000 years, and he's still a little frog. Because old frog man, he lived to be the good, I don't know, 50 grand? 50,000 years before, when Naruto still existed. Now the new world of my Aka." So yeah, because I don't think they ever like fully say like what year they think it is. So no, I'll say a long time happened. Sometime people forgot about it. Civilization forgot about ninjutsu, ninsho, Geki Genkai, Genki Tomura, Genki Motai, all that noise. Eventually, it just mutated, and yeah. Since chakra is a form of life force, everyone does have chakra, but in a sense, it mutates in a variation to make a quirk. Which, you know how ninja tools were summoned? Momo, in a sense, is using the liptids, the energy in her body, which, in a sense, you could say is chakra, to conjure up weapons. She just has to know how to make them. Because, you know, Kushina could do chains, Karin can do chains. You can just summon a just like have a scroll, have it labeled ocean. A little bit of chakra, a motherfucking ocean. Like just swarming with water. So I feel like it's fair. Anyway, Izuku just asked the frog, what do you mean? Who can help me? And the frog is just like, I think I'll let them introduce themselves to you one at a time. And like he looks at Momo and he's saying, "Bring your girlfriend if you want." Which, you know, Momo, like Deku's just like, she's just my friend. And like the Toad is saying, and go like, for now anyway. And Deku's just like, "What? Nothing." Toad leaves, you know, all that good shit. Deku receives special scrolls. So anyway, Deku is given 7 scrolls. What he needs, what was it? Yeah, 7 scrolls because I'm not counting Danzo. Fuck Danzo. He was only a candidate. Plus, fuck Danzo. Just for real though. Alright then. So, Izuku gets 7 scrolls. Each scroll, the Toad instructs. Grab it, concentrate really, really hard, and try and put energy. And Deku's just like, "But I don't have a quirk." You don't need a quirk. Just your focus your energy. Like, feel it throughout your body. Like, the Toad even, like, shows Deku how to. Like, at first with the first Hokage, showing him, like, taking him by the hand and, like, letting him feel how it feels to flow with chakra. So, yeah, Deku actually meets the first Hokage. Welcomes Izuku and saying, like, he looks at the Toad of Prophecy and he's just like, "Oh, hello, sir. What's up?" Toad tells him, "Yeah, this guy can change the future. As far as I know, only the Hokages or Kage level people have been able to. And I figured, why not give this kid, like, a fighting chance?" Which, you know, Harashima's just asking him, "What do you mean?" Well, you see, people have grown away from ninjutsu, ninsho, and all this other good stuff. Something called quirks. And, well, they make fun of him for not having it. Which is rare for only, I'm gonna say only In this one, only 10% of the world is quirkless instead of 80. So yeah. But within that 80, only like maybe 15% of them actually have like very powerful quirks. The rest are all just like kind of mundane. A lot of them are most like emission or mutation quirks, not really enhancer quirks. Oh well. But no. Izuku, he meets Harashima. Harashima saying, okay, well, I guess I can train him. And Harashima's just saying, wait, if I train him, will he get like what style? The frog shakes his head no, since there's no blood relations to any of the kages with Izuku. Keep that in mind, he's not related to any of them. He's just gonna have to train with what they could pass on to him. You know, Harashima's just thinking, I got it. I will teach him the ways of taijutsu, senjutsu, and maybe, if he gets enough control of his chakra, he can do the healing like Ann can. So yes, you know, his healing without a hand sign. So now that Izuku is aware of the first Hokage, they straight up tell him, you'll start off with him since he's the first one. You'll go all the way to this one, the 7th one. And the 7th one is a lot bigger and has gold around it. So Izuku's just like, oh, I can't wait for it. And, well, you know, Harashima's just saying, kid, it's going to take you a while to get under my training, though. But don't worry. You're starting off with probably the coolest, nicest, most awesomest guy ever. Which I know Harashima's not like this, but he's just, you know, making a joke with Izuku. Trying to make him, like, encouraging him. You know, because since Izuku's going to be trained by him, that means Izuku's going to be even more awesome. And that's what he's going to do. Which, Izuku smiles. He accepts. They leave the scroll mindscape fusion-esque world. And Izuku, like, he takes the scrolls. The frog tells him, I go like, yeah, best to keep those hidden, my guy. So he puts it in his backpack, which, you know, after this, Momo starts coming too, and the frog's just saying, alright then, I'm leaving. Which, when Momo wakes up, she asks Izuku what had happened. Izuku says, oh, you fell, I grabbed you, and I was able to land on softer water. Like, and no, he can't say softer water. No, I caught I landed, and then, like, Izuku points out to the, noisily, to the rustling bushes, and he's saying, we were saved by someone who just left right now. They weren't a hero, so they had to use their quirk, which is illegal, and next thing you know, Momo just kisses Izuku on the cheek, just like this, and Izuku's just like, huh? Momo just hugs him, saying she was scared that she was gonna die, and, like, the last thing she saw was just Izuku's face, smiling at her, and she's just like, she felt safe. Like, and, you know, Izuku's just like, thanks, Momo. So, yes, Momo and Izuku actually start their dating, like, kinda early, but they're kids, so they don't really understand, like, the gravity of relationships like that. But it does help a lot because, you know, Izuku gets a bit more confidence now. He's not gonna stutter because he has Momo. He legit has Momo. And Momo, she develops like normal in canon. Which, I will say this. Izuku, after a year of training with Harashima, he has perfected water style, earth style. He has Sage Jutsu, but it takes him a while to get into it. And then his chakra control is pretty strong. He's not acquired the chakra healing without hand signs. He still needs to wave a few, which surprises Harashima, because it's just like 2 hand signs later, Izuku just places a hand over his wounds, green chakra glows from it, and then onto the wound, and then it just steams shut. After that, Izuku's fine, which evolution of medical ninjutsu in a sense, but he's not arguing with it. And here's the thing. Izuku Like, eventually, like, because he's practicing, like, chakra walking on, like, the wall, on the ceiling. So his mom does eventually catch him walking on the wall. Izuku, rather than freak out, he's just saying, I think my quirk activated. She's going like, when? She tells him what happened. She calls, and this causes a three-way interlock dimension between Mitsuki, Momo's mom, and Inko on what the fuck just happened. And then Momo's mom just looks at Inko. It's just like, so that's why Momo's been like more, I'm gonna say cheery, like, and why she's always so persistent on seeing Izuku, which, you know, I'm gonna say the three kids, they're there in the living room, all like being watched by the fathers. Yes, Izuku's dad is also there watching them, and yeah, you know, Bakugo got yelled at. Like, Mitsuki, like, she actually spanked Bakugo in front of Momo and Izuku, like, and they told him, alright then, hold this. It was a camera. She spanks Izuku. No, not Izuku. She spanks Bakugo in front of both of them. Says, alright then, if he ever acts up, let me know. I'll give you this copy, and y'all can just play this. And Bakugo's just like, at the age of 6, you wouldn't dare, you old hag. Mitsuki slaps the shit out of him again and go like, who you fucking calling old, little shit? And Izuku's just like, she's scary. And Momo just like hugs Izuku, just like, ah. And yes, more for the ship. And let's see, what was I going with this? So yes, after about almost a year and a half of full training with Harashima, Izuku then opens the second scroll, the second Hokage, Tobirama Senju, has shown. And Tobirama, gotta wear my seatbelt. Alright then, and Tobirama, he's not as friendly as like the first or joking, but he is someone who like will help Deku be more tactical now. He's gonna refine Deku's water style to where he no longer needs a water source, because that's the thing. He still needed water sources for his water style jutsu. The second Hokage, he's pretty much just go like, nah. You getting stronger, my guy. We making you even better. So, and Tobirama shows Izuku one other jutsu besides water style. It is not the Shadow Clone Jutsu or the Endo Tensei. No. Tobirama insisted that Deku learn his Flying Raijin technique, which Deku does. He actually is capable of doing 4 teleports a day. He gave Momo a necklace that is marked IXM, which, you know, she's just like, oh my god, yes, I love this boy. But what she don't know is that Izuku also put the Flying Raijin Jutsu formula on it, and he can just teleport to her whenever. Like, legit, she has to, like, he tells her, you ever, like, need me? Squeeze the bracelet, and I'll know. So, yeah. And, let's see. I'll say that training took him about another year and a half. So, Deku is now 9 years old when he starts his training under Hiruzen Sabatori, the third Hokage. And Hiruzen just, you know, he finishes Deku's taijutsu mastery, which Deku at this point, to put it into perspective, at the age of 9, he is probably high tuning level. Like, he a bigger threat than Zabuza right now. And he's only 9. Like, yes, Izuku is very efficient. He has all 5 nature chakras because Hiruzen didn't have an affinity for all 5. He just fucking worked his ass off. Deku, having him as a teacher, fucking worked his ass off. Hiruzen is the one who showed Deku how to use the shadow clones, which, here's the thing. Deku, being big-brained, realized that the experience that his clones gained or added on to him because I'll say he divided into 5 clones, each of them practicing one of the elemental jutsus, and then jutsu's undone. Well, the Shadow Clone jutsu's undone. They all return back to, you know, the main boy, Izuku. He now just realizes, like, the true power of the Shadow Clone jutsu, which Hiruzen says he was surprised that the second didn't teach him since that was his jutsu. And Izuku's just, like, looking, like, angrily. And he's just like, man, I knew that guy was straight. And then Izuku's just like, no, I think it was better. Which Hiruzen was just like, huh? I'm pretty sure there were other people who could have taught me that jutsu. But not many people could teach me his flying Raijin. Which Hiruzen, after listening to this, he's just like, oh, you're going to enjoy the fourth. Who, you know, remodeled and refined it. Gave it a few fine tunings. So Izuku's just like, really? Yes. And here's the thing. Thanks to the training of Tobirama and Hashirama, Izuku only needed to spend half a year perfecting fire style, wind style, and lightning style due to Shadow Clone bullshit. Which, yes, Izuku's chakra reserves are that of, I want to say, beginning Naruto Shippuden right now. Just the beginning. So, yes. No. Towards the end of Naruto. That's the amount of chakra Izuku has right now. And, you know, 10th birthday coming up. It is now time for him to learn the jutsu of the 4th Hokage. Which, yes, he gets a refined flying Raijin. And the other thing, because you know I gotta give it to him, the motherfucking Rasengan is learned. I'm gonna pause this because I'm currently walking into a panaderia to get some menudo. I'm back, and I got the menudo, because menudo fucking fire. I also like pozole too. I like some gumbo, not a lot. Anyway, back to the story. Because Izuku is 10, he has opened the scroll for the 4th Hokage. And you know, the training of the water balloon, the rubber ball, and then the compression. Which, thanks to the Shadow Clones, which Izuku's limit with clones now is a solid 100. He can have 100 on for 24 hours, undo the jutsu, with relative to little to no exhaustion on him. Due to high chakra amounts. Which, oh, poor Momo. Just poor Momo. She getting that Hinata treatment. You know, that Kaguramote no Jutsu, gangbang style, followed by Nuki release nut jutsu. What? If y'all don't know those references, I ain't gonna lie to you. That's a shame, but it's fucking funny where I got them from. So, Izuku had, I'm gonna say it does take him about it does take him like 9 months. 9 months to fully master the Rasengan. Even with his clones. Like, that's how difficult. How does that work if Naruto has not died? I am back. Ow. Actually, hold up. Alright then. I'll say around his birthday, July 15th, Momo comes in. Deku's there. Keep in mind, they've technically been together for like 4 years now. Which, to them, means like everything and nothing at the same time. Like, it's not a big deal, but to them it's like, we've always been there with one another. Like, why else would we want anyone? Like, there's no reason to want anyone else. Deku don't look at other girls. Momo don't look at other guys. Like, legit. Momo thinks everything of Izuku, and Izuku thinks everything of Momo. And he did not hide his training and abilities from Momo. However, everyone else, fuck him. Just, nah. Like, legit. He was told by the Kages every single time, yo, don't tell people you're doing this. Shit on him. Surprise on him. Like, do the biggest flex on him. Like, yeah, motherfucker. Y'all we're about to get the fucking smoke, but I chose not to type shit. But no, he's just saying, but I have a, like, he always blushes when he says it, because he gets really giddy when he says it. He's just like, but I have a girlfriend who, like, he's trying, like, to, like, not. I will definitely watch that one later. Anyway, Izuku, like, he's always giddy when he talks about Momo, which the Kages, every single time, like, they talk about it, like, they're like, huh, I guess I am hungry. Anyway, Izuku, like, the first understood, the second one was like, I kind of get it. Third one was just like, I get it, I had a son too. Minato's just like, I know, right? Like, he starts telling her about Kushina and all that other stuff, and how, like, she's actually the mother of his child, who he'll have to meet later, and that's the 7th. And Izuku's just like, oh, that's so cool. And then, yeah, Minato's just like, yeah, he's stronger than all of us. Than all of us combined. So, train up. Yeah. So Izuku's just like, I can't wait. You know. He then meets Tsunade. Which, when he meets Tsunade, he just like, I really, really don't want to be rude, but can you cover those a bit more? I feel kind of strange being trained by a mature woman exposing that much when I have a girlfriend. Like, and Tsunade picks up on it. Oh, just flirting with Izuku, playfully messing with him. Not actually trying to hop on Izuku. Because Tsunade not like that, bro. Alright. I have my menudo, and I'm walking back inside. So no. As Izuku talks with Tsunade about all the other shit that he likes. Like, he does tell her about Momo, and Tsunade's just like, you break her heart, I'm gonna fucking kick you. Which, Izuku does get access to medical ninjutsu very well now. And he's now studying the strength of 100 seals, which kinda nerfs him a little bit. I'm back. So now, where was I? Izuku. Right. After talking with Tsunade about Momo, and Tsunade's just like, yeah, you break that girl's heart, I'm gonna find a way out of this scroll, beat your ass. And that was the thing. So Tsunade does become, like, mother figure. Well, not mother, auntie figure. Like, all the Kages so far have been, like, those cool-ass uncles that, like, give you your first beer, or, like, take you on your first drive, give you your first puff of weed. What? No, I don't endorse any of those things. Wait, what? Nah. Anyway, Izuku, like, he admits that Tsunade's probably, like, the most frightening one so far, because of her, raw physical strength. Which, also, since Izuku, from this point on, will be restricted to pretty much just 20% of overall chakra flow, Tsunade does teach him, like, better ways to control his chakra. So, rather than spamming hundreds of clones now, he just does 10, where they all do the meditation and training for the strength of 100 seals, which forms on Izuku's forehead right around the age of 13. And yes, also, in case you're wondering, UA is still a high school, so yes, Izuku won't have all the Kages before UA. I gotta make it a little bit interesting, There's still the sports festival and other shit to do. So no, Izuku, he's about like 80% mastery with all of Tsunade's. Like, yes, he has the strength of 100 seals and medical ninjutsu. He has the perfect chakra control and physical strength now of Tsunade, stacked on top of all the other ninjas who's trained him, which, insane for Izuku, by the way, because he's just like, wow, just wow. And Momo be loving the gains that Izuku got. Like, she Jesus Christ. Like, she was just desperately not trying to be all over the man. Which, yes. I know it's Goku with a gi, but this is the only thing I could find that made him muscular. So, this is Deku at the age of 13. Standing damn near 6 feet tall. That's fucking funny. It's like he's in, like, now he's the true anime protagonist instead of being, I think it was 166 centimeters. Levi at 160 centimeters, which he's taller than Levi Ackerman. The fuck? And then Vegeta only at 164 meters. And that's including his hair. What the fuck? I just didn't know they were so short. Like, you always think, oh no, they probably taller than that. No. Oh well. Anyway, Izuku, he spends quality time with Momo. Which, anyway, we back. And yes, Momo gives Deku a gift. Because I'm gonna do a quick Christmas time thing here right now. Because it's getting closer. Though I know we still have Thanksgiving, but I don't like Thanksgiving. It's the day that they killed Native Americans. That's what Thanksgiving is. So you can't fucking tell me otherwise. Like, legit. Come on, man. I studied U.S. history. I know the real shit. Fucking, like, Jesus Christ. Nah. Fuck Thanksgiving, honestly. And then Black Friday, right next to it, is just proof of how fucked up America is. One day you're there grateful. The next day you're beating the shit out of people for fucking toys. Ugh, fucking pisses me off. Anyway, no. It's Christmas time. Momo gets Izuku a special gift. And now that he no longer has All Might to look up to, because he sees he has 7 other people that will train him to be better than All Might. Each one of them, in their own way, will outclass All Might, in a sense. Like Tsunade, because of the strength of 100 seals, she'll be able to outmatch All Might in stamina, so he'll power out. Harashima got wood style. All Might can't fucking fight a wood dragon and that 100 seals, like the 100 hand golem. Nah. Summon enlightenment? Nah. All Might dying. Tobirama's flying Raijin and water style? Too OP. 5 nature chakras with Hiruzen? Nah. He dying. Minato spamming flying Raijin and Rasengan. All Might losing. Kakashi, he might not have the Sharingan now, but he's still got lightning, and that this is a Boruto move, so if you've not seen any of Boruto, after Kakashi loses his, Sharingan, he redefines Chidori and Raikiri to make Shiden, purple lightning, which, yes, I think it's about the same equivalence, but it's not as fast. Destructive power matches, speed is cut back. So yeah, Izuku will get that from Kakashi. But not yet, because there's still about a year left. But no, back to this. Christmas time for Izuku and Momo. Momo gets him a... I don't know. They've been dating for so long, she should know Izuku by now. She gets him a new... I'm gonna just say it's a watch, a belt, and a necklace with a picture of Momo inside of it. And Izuku was just like, He grabs her by the hand, quickly starts running throughout the store, like scamming everywhere and everywhere and everywhere. Momo's just like, Izuku, what are you looking for? And he's just like, I know I saw one. I go like, just a second. Momo's like flushing because everyone's just like staring at them. Like, what is up with this couple? Like, someone let it slip. I go like, oh, I guess they're in the mood. Which Momo's just like, oh my god, Izuku, we're so young. Just like, like her mind is panicking. He stops in the middle, like, in between 2 kiosks, and he says, there, above us, like panting. Momo's panting too, and then she sees it's a motherfucking mistletoe. And Izuku's just like, like panting heavily. He's just like, Merry Christmas. And then he kisses Momo. And thus they share a nice, like, tender moment, which, oof, just, I said Izuku and Momo were at the mall. I never said that their parents weren't there with them. So, yeah, you just hear Inko and Momo's mom just, like, yelling at them and go, like, what are you two doing? You are in public. And they're just like, we were, like, Momo's just like, it wasn't like we were gonna do anything more. And he's just like, he's like, he knows because he's the one who kissed Momo in front of everyone. So this is his B. And he's just like, he just yells it at the top of his lungs. He is in love with Momo Yaoyorozu. And if anyone has a problem with it, then they can fight him right here, right now. And Momo's just like, Izuku, so bold. Inko is just like, what the? Yo, is this really my son? Since when does he want to be a badass? And just for the sake of fun, I will say, who do I want him to do dirty right now? Tetsu. I'll say Tetsu was in their middle school, like in a class with Momo, and he knows that Momo's been dating Izuku for the longest time, so he's just like, alright, then I'll take your challenge. And Izuku's just like, okay. He just cracks his knuckles, and then they start to radiate, like, the blue chakra, and everyone's just like, wait, what? Momo's just like, whoa. Like, because I'll say they'll be able to feel some pressure coming off of Izuku's fist. Like, they could just tell, if this hits, this could break your bones. Which Tetsu steals up, rushes Izuku, and then Izuku just sidesteps him, hits him in the back of the neck, and then Tetsu falls, saying he can't move. Every time he tries to move his body, something else moves. And Izuku's just like, yeah, I struck your nervous system. It'll be messed up for about 3 minutes. Say you concede, and I'll fix you up right now. And I don't have to walk away. Which Tetsu's just like, you bastard. Momo's just like, whew, kind of hot in here. Inko's just like, yo, even if you don't be a hero, like, bodyguard, my guy, that'd probably be good money for Izuku. Momo's mom is just like, well, I guess he can protect my daughter, so I approve of the ship finally. Well, no. Now she pretty much is just giving Deku, like, the blessings to marry her daughter. She approved of them dating. Now it's just like, okay, son-in-law. You are son-in-law now. So, yeah, that's going to be a thing. Now, it is now time for UA. Another time skip, I know. And Izuku's already started his training with Kakashi, so he is aware of the Shiden technique, but he's not using it. And since Kakashi no longer has the Sharingan, Izuku does not know any Sharingan jutsus. However, I will say Kakashi's, like, hand-to-hand style and fighting combat does help polish up Izuku's a lot, because he does retain the fighting style of every single person, too. Like, to him, it's just like, alright, then, I have their fighting style, and I'm gonna mix it with this one. And he does. He's very proficient in fighting. And now, like, right before he starts the entrance exams, because he's sitting next to Momo, and the entire time they were, next to each other. Like, they were not holding hands, but they were interlocking arms. Like, and I'll say Ida noticed this, and he's just like, I'm gonna get on the ass for that. And yes, I know Izuku cannot be in the same testing hall as Momo, so that's not gonna be a thing. However, Izuku does meet one of Momo's friends, which Izuku, they're cool, and she sees she's freaking out, so Izuku just casually body flickers towards her, which Ida, like, he was gonna stop him because he's just like, oh, he's gonna go talk to her. I'm gonna no. Next thing he knows, Izuku body flickers is right behind this person. Like, like he approaches on the side, like just 2 feet away, and he just says, "Yo, Kyoka, how are you doing?" And Kyoka turns around. Kyoka Jiro, earphone check. It is now time for their moment. She's just saying, "Oh, Izuku, I don't see Momo anywhere." And Izuku's just like, "Yeah, she got put into test ground B. I see you're in A too." And Jiro's just like, "Yeah, hi Izuku. You've changed a lot." Because I'll say she knew Izuku like from a few years ago, like 2 years ago, so she's surprised at the added bulk, and she's just like, "Wonder Momo's been dating him forever." Which she don't say this, but she thinking this. And let's see, where do I want to go with this? I'll say, since Izuku already sees Jiro, he's just like, if I remember correctly, your quirk was earphone jack, right? She nods and she's just like, okay. I've seen those so many times though. And how do I make a twist on something I've seen over and over again? I'm gonna pause this. I'm back. I had to hop into the Discord real quick because just so y'all can see, we talking a lot, and it's about what if ideas. What if Deku was the reincarnation of Zoro? Blacklight virus, all this other stuff. Deku being a ghoul, all this stuff. Currently talking about Deku being experimented on, different version. One that will involve Orochimaru, which I can't get too much into. But, oh well. Feel free to join the Discord for the what if ideas. I do have a meme tab too, which pretty much anything goes, because it's very any memes, but no really racist memes. Like, it can be dark humor and dank, but I don't want to see no racist ass shit, because that will get you banned. For real though. But no, yeah. Izuku finishes like Tetsu. He's just like, okay, fine, I give. Izuku pats him on the neck. He can move again. Momo's just like, Izuku. And Izuku's just like, he just grabs Momo by the hand, pulls her in, hugs her, and gives her a kiss on the forehead. Which, it's not as extreme as the fuck? Does a motherfucker want to catch these hands already? This early in the morning? They might. So now, Izuku, he finishes his shopping date with Momo. The family leaves. And now it'll be, I'm gonna say they're starting UA in the spring. Isn't that when they started? In the spring? Hold up. Wait, no. I just remembered something. Fuck. I'm lost in all my photos. Where? Fuck it. There we go. This is where this was the one thing I wanted to do. This is what I was thinking of. I got distracted by the Discord, and then I remembered I was also talking about Izuku at the UA entrance exams, which happens in March. No, not in March, in April. No, it would be, well, school starts in April. So I guess it's somewhere in March that they did the exam. So I backtracked a little bit for that Christmas thing, then that, now this. Fuck, the Discord got me confused. I'm confused, G. I'm sorry. Anyway, No, because I'll say, you know, all for one heard about Momo's quirk creation, and he chose her as, the successor. So Momo is the ninth user of One for All instead of Izuku, which, Momo not gonna hide it from Izuku. She straight up told Izuku, which All Might was like, wait, you told somebody? You never said I couldn't? And All Might's just like, fuck. Who'd you tell? And Momo's just like, she blushes and says, my boyfriend of 11 years, which All Might's just like, aren't you 15? And she nods and saying, we've dated for a good minute now. Which All Might's just like, huh. What quirk does he have? And then Momo's just like, that's... Like, Momo's just like, she don't know how to explain it. Like, it's really weird what Deku can do. So, Deku shows up with All Might. They meet. She introduces him to All Might, like where they're familiar with each other, but Izuku don't really care. So yeah. Now back to the entrance exam, because Izuku was talking to Jiro, and yes, the robot, like the hall gate opens. The gate opens. Izuku tells Jiro, if she needs him, just holler. Which once he goes in, this man just body flickering, just every single time. He's just using straight taijutsu right now, because he's not going to show off anything too fancy. But, yes. So, no. And plus, you gotta remember, he does have the mark of 100 seals on his forehead, though. So, it's not like he can't use more than like 20%. He's just like, I don't want to overdo anything, because, yeah. So, no, Izuku, he's pretty good with destroying the robots. He helps a lot of people, too. And then, 0-pointer time. Because I'll say Izuku destroyed 33 pointers, 22 pointers, and then 10 1-pointers. Why not? So no, Izuku, he's confident with his power, like the amount he got. So, and he has saved a few people along the way, so he does have hero points. But then he hears, help! Izuku! And he's just like, Jiro! Instantly uses the flying Raijin technique. And in case you're wondering, how does he have flying Raijin? Well, he marked Jiro, like, right before the exam started. Because he's just like, if you need me, I gotta help right away. So, yes, he teleports towards her. And everyone's just like, what kind of quirk does he have? All Might is just seeing this because he's just like, oh, so this is what he can do. Izuku just easily lifts up the rubble, sees the 0-pointer, and he's just like, I got this. Does the hand sign, that old reliable Naruto be spamming, that multi-shadow clone jutsu. And now, 100 Izukus form around the 0-pointer. All of them, with their palms out, as 2 spheres of blue energy start to form in each palm, around in all of them. Yes, each of them are creating 2 double Rasengans. But then the Rasengans start growing and growing. And then, it's really strange, because Jiro could see something very strange about Izuku's clones and him. Like, the marking on his forehead seemed to have, spread out through his whole body. And she's just like, what? So then you just hear Izuku go, fuck. I have more errands to run, so I'm recording while I'm getting ready. So yes, because fuck it, Ooh, my neck feel crunchy. Ah, fuck. Where was I? So yeah, Izuku does a Sage mode, which, yes, Izuku figured out how to combine Sage mode into the 100 Seals technique, because I'm gonna say this once, I'm gonna say it again. Izuku is big brain, bro. So yes. So yes, Izuku's just like Senpu Rasen Rengeki. So, rusting on barrages. Kinda overkill for the 0-pointer, but you know, he had to. Which, at the exact same time, he feels Momo squeeze that bracelet. So, the real Izuku teleports. The other Izuku's just poof into smoke. No one knows where he's at. And this is when Nezu is just like, oh, look at that camera over there in ground B. Which they're like, what? They all turn. And then they see Momo. Which, I'll say Momo only has about 7% of One for All. So she's not too overly strong, but she got some power. Which, not enough against the 0-pointer, I'll say. Well, in her mind, it's not enough. But she would have been fine running away, but she wasn't running away. There was another girl who was trapped. This girl had brown hair, round cheeks, and she in it for the money. So no, yes, Momo was saving her, but this left her open for the 0-pointer to come in. Well, so they thought. Because all they hear is water style, giant water dragon vortex. Which they're like, what? And sure enough, a giant motherfucking water dragon wraps around just comes out of nowhere, spins into a giant water vortex, and destroys the 0-pointer. Everyone's just like, how the fuck did he get there? I thought he could do cloning. What is with this water bullshit? Which, he straight up just takes Momo by the hand, teleports. No one knows where they went. Izuku took this as, alright then, we done. We leaving. Putting on a sweater because it's kind of windy outside. So no, Izuku now saved Momo. Which, yeah, everyone sees this, and well, All For One thinks, how do I bring it to my successor that she's dating, like, a villain associated with All For One? Which, oh, that's gonna be fun. Because, well, you know, this originally was gonna be a one-shot. And I don't think I can leave it as a one-shot anymore. This was supposed to be a one-shot. But, I'm gonna troll y'all on this one. If y'all can get me to, I'll just say, if this gets 250 likes, I will do a part 2. If not, then I end it. Like, oh well. Okay, so Izuku teleports Momo to his house. And, you know, this is what surprises Izuku. He sees a note on the kitchen table from his parents, saying that those two and the Yairozus, they're on a family business trip. Because I'll say eventually Hisashi and Momo's dad got in the same. Like said, fuck it, we're going to start up our own company. And they're working overseas for it. And now it's like a little, like the wives are coming to meet executives. Eventually, their kids will have to meet this other guy who's going to be working with their parents, and then they'll have to meet his daughter in their island. Who knows if that'll ever happen, or when that'll happen, depending on if this gets the right like count. So, oh well, we'll see. Anyway, I will also be changing this slight event of, nothing. Here we are. Deku and Momo realizing they have the house to themselves, and Momo's parents are also going to be gone, so she spend a weekend at Izuku's. Like, this all the context you need. Like, this is not one of those, like, graphic scenes. Nah, like, they do share their first intimate night together, which Izuku was surprised, because he's just like, I think I should have been tired from this. Momo, like, after, like, the 13th hour, she's just like, no more, can't walk, legs numb. Izuku heals her, and she's just like, oh no, he's going in again. And Izuku's just like, oh yeah, like, I ain't even tired. Just like, and he's just like, it's already been 13 hours since we started. And Momo's just like, oh god, what is he? Is he human? So no, that was their thing, which, yeah, I have a lot of different photos that, I just don't even care. Let's go with this. This is what Deku's hero outfit will be in the future. There we go. I'll leave it on this one. Because now, Izuku's final test with Kakashi is the bell test. Which, one bell, Mindscape, Izuku has to go all out without using any ninjutsu. Just straight taijutsu. Kakashi also just used straight taijutsu. They throw them hands for about what feels like only Izuku, just a few hours, honestly, but in reality, it had been roughly 3 months of, like, Mindscape training, using the scroll constantly. Not that he was in, like, a comatose or anything, it's just, like, he'll go into it, train, go into it, train, like, after a while, he'll leave, go back, shit like that. But like I said, for him, it didn't seem like that much. It's just, like, no concept of time. Which, he starts to realize something. Because, yes, he's, like, him and Momo have kinda just moved into where, like, just moved in with Izuku. Which, after a while, like, they still get messages from their parents. It's just that both of their parents now just work at this island. Like, all four of them. They all work at this island with this one dude. And, yeah. Which, it's really awkward as fuck, because they're asking Momo, like, is she okay living in that house alone? Like, does she want, like, maybe to, like, this is after 3 months, too. Like, the parents don't even know this. Like, do you think maybe you want to, and they were hesitant at first, but they're like, let's see how they respond to this. Do you want to maybe move in with Izuku? I know their parents are okay with it. And Momo's just like, yeah, if I'm not at the house alone, I've just been hanging out with Izuku. She's just, like, trying not to do anything or say anything that incriminates her. So, she straight up just says, oh no, yeah, I've stayed at Izuku's house a few times before. Which, no, Momo, wrong phrasing. Which they're like, and what did y'all do by any chance? Which Momo was not ready at all. Which, she's stammering, she's stuttering. Izuku realizes this, so he just grabs Momo's hand and he just says, like, he don't even front with them. He's just like, yes, we shared a few nights together, slept on the couch, we passed out during watching some movies. We didn't tell you guys because, Momo thought you guys would overreact. Which Momo's just like, Izuku, stop lying. They're gonna know. Which Inko and Hisashi, they're like, aw, good boy, Izuku. Thank you for telling the truth. We believe you. Which Momo's just like, no fucking way. Is that easy? Which, yes and no. Alright then. I guess this is no longer a one-shot. It has the potential... Well, this has the potential to no longer be a one-shot. But I'm actually perfectly fine just leaving it as is, because a lot of the canon story will stay the same, so y'all can use your imaginations on how you want to finish this. But if y'all want me to go back into this story, then 250 likes. That's it. My subscriber count's almost at 3,000, so I'm not too worried about it. So, yeah. I've still not sold myself to YouTube ads, which I'm going to try to make sure I don't ever have to do, but, yo, if the bills get too much and y'all start seeing ads, don't get mad at me. Because, oh well. So no. I will end this what if with this simple scene. Izuku and Momo, they're walking together down the street when they bump into somebody who, kind of surprises them. This person latches on to Izuku. She says, "Will you be my dad?" And I will end it off there. And yes, this is Eri. No, she is not gone to Overhaul. This is actually right after she had shortly after, her mom left her with the former leader of the Yakuza. And then from there, she was let go by a Yakuza member because this Yakuza member had overheard what Chisaki was finna do. She just told Eri, run into someone, as soon as you meet a guy or a couple, ask them if they'll be your parents. That's all they told her. And so she ran away. Izuku finds Eri. Eri finds Izuku and Momo, runs into both of them, and straight up just says, "Will you two be my parents?" Which they stuck on. They don't know how to answer this. Izuku was just, Momo's just like, Eri's just trying not to cry because she's been alone. So, yes, Izuku's just like, yes, I'll be your dad. And he points to Momo. No, he looks at Momo and he's just like, do you wanna, he gulps. He's just like, do you wanna raise? And he looks at the little Chris. What's your name? Eri. Momo, will you help raise Eri with me? And I'm gonna end it off here so I can upload this. I have errands to do right now, guys. So, in 15 to 20-ish minutes, I should try. I'm gonna record a different what if. Okay. And I know I still have to do my other Cat Deku and then Naruto, Son of Hokage special. That's what I'm trying to do, guys. So, clicking off. Have a good one.